Ever wondered if the American dream doesn't apply everywhere? Behind the history and the blues music, there are small towns still fighting to stay afloat. From Fort Payne, once known as the sock capital of the world, to Selma, a landmark of civil rights history now battling poverty. This isn't just a story of fading towns. It's about how the American dream is slowly unraveling in the heart of the South. Fort Payne. The town was once proudly called the sock capital of the world. Imagine, at its peak, over 100 sock factories operated here, producing more than 50% of all socks made in the United States. But that golden era faded when manufacturing moved overseas. Slowly, the factory shut down, thousands lost their jobs, and Fort Payne went from a bustling town to a quiet one. Maybe too quiet. Today, the main streets once busy with textile shipments now feel deserted. Empty buildings silently tell stories of the past. Still, the community remains warm, and the surrounding landscape is beautiful, especially near Little River Canyon. Gadsden once stood tall as one of Alabama's steel industry centers. In its heyday, smoking factories symbolized prosperity, and the Coosa River that runs through the city was the lifeblood of its economy. But when the steel industry collapsed, Gadsden slowly lost its pulse. Today, about 32,800 people live here, many of them below the poverty line. Local leaders have tried to revive tourism and small businesses, but the truth is, the city is still stuck in the cycle of poverty and unemployment. Gadsden feels like a town clinging tightly to its past, because that's when life here truly thrived. Talladega, a city in Alabama known for two things, racing and prison. It's home to the legendary Talladega Superspeedway, a haven for NASCAR fans. But behind the roar of engines and cheering crowds, the town itself tells a much less glamorous story. With a population of around 14,000, more than 22% of residents live below the poverty line, according to Data USA. As small industries and manufacturing declined, many parts of Talladega began to lose their spark. The town faces the same challenges as many small Alabama cities: limited infrastructure and shrinking job opportunities. Ironically, the place known for speed is now crawling slowly toward recovery. Lineville, Alabama might be small, just around 2,600 residents, but its history runs deep. It was once a hub for trading cotton, corn, cattle, and even pine timber, which was shipped by Southern Railway to Birmingham. Back then, Lineville thrived off the land, but as commodity prices dropped and farmland shrank, the local economy slowly dimmed. Today, the average household income is only about $37,000, according to Data USA. Yet amid the hardship, there are still bright spots. Lineville High School still stands as a symbol of the past, and Chiaha Mountain, the highest point in Alabama, is just a short drive away. Lineville may not be as busy as it once was, but it still holds a kind of rural warmth that's hard to find elsewhere. Not far from Lineville, just about a 10-minute drive, is Ashland, another small town in Clay County that mirrors its neighbor in many ways. While Lineville once thrived on agricultural trade, Ashland became better known as the county's administrative center and the heart of its local community. With around 1,900 residents, it's a quiet town, but one still wrestling with a thinning economy. The average household income here is about $42,000, and nearly 30% of its residents live below the poverty line. Still, Ashland holds on to its charm. Its main street lined with old shops, historic murals, and the tight-knit feel of a true small-town community. Then there's Goodwater, a name that sounds peaceful, almost like a promise of prosperity in the Alabama countryside. But ironically, this small town in Coosa County faces a far harsher reality. With a population of just 1,200, nearly 40% of residents live below the poverty line, making it one of the poorest towns in the state. Goodwater was once a stopover for farmers and local traders, but today, many storefronts are shuttered, and empty houses are a common sight. The name Goodwater may suggest calm and hope, but here, what remains is a long fight against hardship. Still, the people who live here continue to hold on, believing that one day, their town's name might finally reflect its future. Tuskegee was once a proud symbol of Black excellence in the South. Home to Tuskegee University, the birthplace of Booker T. Washington, and the legendary Tuskegee Airmen of World War II. But behind its powerful history, this town of about 8,400 people now faces a very different reality. Nearly 27% of its residents live below the poverty line, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Many local businesses have shut down, job opportunities are scarce, and economic growth has nearly stalled. Even so, Tuskegee still holds on to a spirit that's hard to extinguish. From murals of struggle in the town center to the students who continue arriving at the university. Bessemer, once nicknamed Marvel City, grew rapidly thanks to the booming steel industry. Founded in 1887 and named after Sir Henry Bessemer, the inventor of the steel-making process, it once stood as a beacon of progress in Alabama. But now, with a population of around 24,000, that shine has faded. Today, Bessemer is frequently listed among the worst small towns in Alabama, according to the Montgomery Advertiser, due to low scores in economy, safety, and quality of life. The poverty rate hovers near 30%, and many older neighborhoods have been abandoned since the factories closed. The rail lines that once carried steel are now part of the Bessemer Hall of History, a grand but silent reminder of what once was. Ironically, on the other side of town, Amazon has opened a major distribution center, bringing a small breath of new life, but not enough to turn things around. Bessemer now lives between two worlds, the glory of steel and the struggle to survive in a post-industrial age. Midway in Bullock County is a small snapshot of many rural towns that time seems to have forgotten. With fewer than 400 residents, the town feels caught between the past and the stillness of the present. Once a key hub for agricultural trade, cotton and livestock once flowed through a now defunct rail line, Midway is now filled with empty homes, closed shops, and quiet streets. census data shows a steady decline in population year after year. Its distance from major cities makes it hard to attract investment or new residents. Still, there's a quiet beauty in that isolation. Clean air, wide skies untouched by pollution, and a tight-knit community where neighbors still know each other. Midway may be quiet, but its authenticity is what helps it endure. The small county seat of Lowndes County holds a heavy but important history. With a population of just around 742, this town witnessed one of the key moments in Alabama's civil rights struggle. In 1965, it was here that young activist Jonathan Daniels was shot and killed while fighting for black voting rights, a tragedy that shocked the nation. But after that era passed, Hayneville never truly recovered economically. The town now faces a poverty rate above 50% and aging infrastructure, from the water system to its main roads. Many downtown buildings look abandoned. Even so, the spirit of the community still lives on. Each year, locals hold the Jonathan Daniels Pilgrimage, making Hayneville not just a small town, but a place that carries the breath of history and the strength of resilience. Also located in Lowndes County, this tiny town feels like a time capsule. With fewer than 100 residents, it once thrived in the 19th century thanks to cotton plantations along the Alabama River. Many Grand Greek Revival homes still stand, remnants of a time when wealthy landowners made it the social and economic center of the area. But after the Civil War and the collapse of the slave-based economy, Lowndesboro slowly lost everything. The population plummeted, businesses shut down, and today the town feels more like an open-air museum than a living community. Still, its charm remains. The old architecture, historic churches, and a quiet, almost mystical calm make Lowndesboro feel like a piece of Alabama's past that refuses to fade away. Selma may be one of the most iconic names in America's civil rights history. In 1965, thousands marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge on what became known as Bloody Sunday, fighting for black voting rights, a moment that helped reshape the course of the nation. But behind that powerful symbol, the city is now facing its own struggle with poverty. With a population of about 15,000, more than 28% live below the poverty line, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Factories have closed, small businesses struggle to survive, and many historic buildings sit empty. Even so, Selma still pulses with hope. Murals of resistance, civil rights museums, and residents who continue to protect the memory of their city's legacy from being lost to time. From Selma, the journey continues to Greenville, a small town in Butler County once known as the Camellia City, thanks to the camellia flowers blooming in nearly every yard. But behind that beauty lies a more complex story. In the 19th century, Greenville was a major cotton trading hub. But after that industry collapsed, the local economy followed. Interestingly, even with a population of just about 6,800, Greenville continues trying to bounce back through festivals, local markets, and preserving historic buildings in its downtown area. Still, economic inequality is easy to spot. On one side, rows of charming colonial homes. On the other, families struggling to survive on minimum wage. From Greenville, we move south to Atmore, a small town better known not for tourism, but for its large prison, Holman Correctional Facility. The prison is known for being tough and is the site of executions in Alabama, an ironic legacy for a town that originally grew through railroad expansion and cotton trade. Today, Atmore's economy is stagnant. Many residents work in government roles or near the prison, while local businesses struggle to grow. Yet, amid all that, the Porch Band of Creek Indians, the only federally recognized Native American tribe in Alabama, has become an economic engine thanks to their casino operations and regional investments. After Atmore, the road leads to Demopolis, a historic town on the banks of the Tombigbee River that was once the largest cotton trading center in Alabama's Black Belt. Founded by French immigrants in the early 1800s, its name means City of the People. Ironically, this town built on hopeful ideals is now fighting to stay afloat. The Georgia Pacific paper mill still serves as the backbone of the local economy, but beyond that, many shops have closed and old houses sit abandoned. Even so, each December, Demopolis comes alive during the Christmas on the River festival, a tradition that draws thousands and gives a breath of new life to a city slowly fading.